So this particular spoiler has a rear brake light, and I'll go ahead and include a link in the description of where I bought this one. And for now though, I'm not going to connect this rear brake light. What I want to do is include this rear LED brake light, which is a little bigger and longer. It's a double row LED. I'll go ahead and link to the description on that, but I'll also include instructions on how to just connect the regular brake light that came with the spoiler. But I'll go ahead and explain a little bit more about that in a sec. So I got this bin off eBay, the spoiler, for my Nissan Sentra 2016. It comes with this plastic. Didn't come with any instructions, but it does come with the 4 bolts, 4 guides. I guess the tape goes underneath it, in between the spoiler and the trunk. So I guess I'll do a video of how I did it. But that's what it looks like for me. But it also has the light underneath, the LED light, and it comes with the wiring. I put blue tape on it because I'm going to paint it, but that's what it looks like. The LED light and the spoiler. Okay, I sanded the spoiler down with 800 grit. A lot of it got in my hands, but it's smooth and it seems to be ready for paint. All I have to do is wipe this off with some water and then go over it again with some alcohol and a terry cloth towel, something that doesn't leave any lint at all, and then we're ready for paint. On to the next step. I just got done with my first coat. I use this paint here from Walmart. It's only $4. Not bad. First coat. I'm gonna wait 10 minutes and come back and do a second coat with this. Okay, that was my third and final coat. Looks not bad, not bad. Now, all you have to do now that you have your base coat on is leave it like that, or I think I'm gonna apply some clear coat. I have to wait 2 hours for that, 2 hours for clear coat, or I might just wait till tomorrow. I might put one more coat on it there, see the little, maybe that was just the light. I might do one more coat in 10 minutes, and then clear coat it after 2 hours, or the next day. No need to sand after your base coat, after this part. I use this gloss clear coat I got at Walmart. Make sure you get the non-yellowing kind, but this stuff works great. Okay, for this spoiler we do have to drill into our trunk. It's pretty easy, so don't worry about it, but before we do that, let's go ahead and move this trunk liner here. So here we have to pop out these rivets in order to get out this trunk liner. Make sure you get a flathead screwdriver and go in between the base and the top of these pins. You want to get in between, so if you go on the very bottom you're going to break them, so make sure your flathead screwdriver is right in between the top and the bottom part here. Okay, we're going to take these 4 drill guides that came with the spoiler, and then we're going to attach them on the bottom of the spoiler to these holes here. We're going to fasten them to these holes here. Okay, after you have your fasteners connected to the bottom of your spoiler, you want to take your spoiler, put it on top of your trunk, and the exact spot that you want the spoiler to be in the end. So put it on your trunk and make sure you get the exact spot, the exact position. Then with painter's tape, the blue tape, you want to tape the guides over so that way when you pull the spoiler up, the drill guides are going to stay on the trunk itself. So you first position the spoiler where you want it, tape those guides down with blue painter's tape, lift up the spoiler, and those drill guides should be connected to your trunk like this. Make sure you check your trunk space or underneath your trunk lid to make sure that you're drilling in a spot that's going to allow you to put the bolts underneath the trunk to hold down the spoiler itself. In this case, in my 2016 Nissan Sentra, I was only able to use the 2 middle bolts and right in the middle of the spoiler. So I drilled 4 holes and I only needed to drill 2 holes. So please double check yours and don't make that mistake I made. And I just use a normal drill to drill the holes into my trunk. The drill bit size, you want to just measure up to the bolts that came with the spoiler. And then once you have that size, you want to go ahead and drill into your trunk using the drill guides that came with the spoiler. After the holes are drilled, go ahead and connect your spoiler to your trunk, and you fasten the bolts from underneath the trunk, and it's going to go through the trunk to the top of the spoiler, or to the bottom of the spoiler, sorry. And then you bolt those down to the trunk. Then you also run your wires through the bottom of the trunk like this. So I ran the wires behind the trunk here. I put this liner back in, but you're gonna have a red and a black wire coming down. This is my other wires for the LED bar that I'm gonna use, but meantime, I'll go ahead and explain that also in a second. But so the red and the black wire are gonna be coming down this way into your trunk space, and I just zip tied it here, and you can do the same thing with that. And then so now with your red and the black wires, we just need to find the brake light and a negative source, and we're gonna do that by accessing this tail light back here, or also you could connect it to the third brake light, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec. So you're gonna locate the wiring behind the light. You have to take these buttons off. You do so by putting the flathead screwdriver in between the top and the bottom part. Do not put it on the bottom, you're gonna break it. It has to go in between here. And just kind of push that, and let's pop right out. It should come right out. And you do that with the other one. That one's already out, so pull this back. So once you pull that back, you're going to be able to see the rear tail light assembly and the cables that come out to your rear tail light. And so here you see these colors, these cables here. So what's going to happen is you have to, there's a red power one, you want to tap into that one, but you also have your blinkers and your reverse light and your brake lights. But for the rear spoiler, there's two ways you could do it. You could tap into this red wire here with your red wire that connects to the spoiler itself, and also the black wire, you could just ground that anywhere on the car. So you really just have to connect one wire here, the red wire, in your rear taillight assembly wires, or you could also tap into your third brake light, which the wiring for my car is here. So you just pull this black back. It should have a couple wires. You want to tap into the red wire there. See that? You want to tap into the dark wire there. I'm not sure if you can see that. The two wires. So you tap into, I believe it's it looks like a dark red there. That's the power wire. So you tap into that. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to install my third brake light on the spoiler. What I'm going to do is add a third row LED, and it actually came with these cables here, which is like a towing cable. And so the LED brake light that I'm going to add, I think it's I think it's going to look a lot better. And here it is here. And so if you want to know how to do that, or you want to put something like that, I'm going to do that on a separate video because it's a separate wiring and a separate kind of install for the spoiler. But for now, if you just want to hook up the third brake light with just the brake light on the spoiler, you could just tap into your rear tail light assembly wires, the red one back there, or your third brake light wires. For my car, it's up there.